Yo, what's good, you guys? Your boy Ben Mahari here, represent Mahari Nation Sports Podcast, man. We're already passed through the first week of the NBA regular season, and I'm telling you right now, the heat is on for the Los Angeles Lakers. And I just did a video yesterday critiquing my criticism of the Lakers, but in this particular video here, I wanted to talk about my criticism of Russell Westbrook right now. And I know there's going to be some people that will disagree heavily about my thoughts on the situation about when it comes to him specifically, or try to throw blame on other players or everything like that. I need you to just sit down, watch the games, and analyze what's really going on with the Laker team right now. That's all I'm going to ask you about. But let's get to the subject in hand here, shall we? So I've kind of watched the first three games for the Lakers this year. Isn't that a surprise? Because I wanted to particularly see how this new team that they have assembled now with a younger, quicker, athletic, defensive oriented team was going to look right now. And the reason why they've been struggling, as I said in my last video, that they just can't shoot perimeter shots. Listen, the Lakers right now as a whole, they're dead last in terms of field goal percentage. All right. They're dead last in 3-point percentage. They're dead last in free throw percentage. And they're also dead last in terms of the rebounding department. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that these guys are not taking the best quality shots. And I've been hearing a lot of people trying to, defend Russell Westbrook, trying to say that, oh, this man's being a scapegoat and everything else. Listen, I need y'all to understand something here. When you don't watch basketball and you don't watch the games and you don't watch how the opposing defenses are playing against the LA Lakers, then you're going to fall into the same perception of, oh, man, we got to defend Russell Westbrook, man. He getting heat from the media and everything like that. Listen, you need to stop watching Undisputed. You need to stop watching First Take, and you need to watch the game yourself and have your own mind of the whole thing. I'm here to tell you right now, yes, Russell Westbrook is an offensive liability, and I hate to break the news to you. And the reason why I'm saying that is when you have big guys that are literally backing off of Russell Westbrook off of screen and roll switches and daring him to shoot the ball. And when you have the crowd pretty much gasping for their breaths in watching Russell Westbrook shoot, bricks or air balls, that should tell you that this man cannot shoot the basketball. I mean, there's no other way to pretty much put this. Now, I'm going to reflect back to what I saw yesterday in their loss against the Portland Trailblazers when they were up by 8 points with at least about, let's say, 4:42 remaining in the fourth quarter, and they were up by 8. So by the time that Coach Darvin Ham pulled Russell Westbrook out of the game because, once again, he was struggling bad, shooting 4 of 15, all right? The Lakers were outscored by 10 before he had to put Russell Westbrook back into the ballgame with about 12.4 seconds left in the game. But I need y'all to really understand something here. The LA Lakers as a team were terrible down the stretch. They shot an overall 3 of 9 from the field and 0 of 4 from three-point range. Contributing from that whole game, they shot at least 6 for 33 from the outside, about 18%, which brings their season total of 25 for 118 from three-point range. And one of those big misses, down the stretch came from Russell Westbrook too. Now, I want to be specifically clear about it. I'm going to give you this little nugget right here. LeBron James took a very bad shot from near half court. And yes, it's very important to mention that because, listen, there's a reason why many coaches at any level advise guys don't shoot shots from half court, especially if it's not a desperate situation. So I hate to break the news to you, but this habit of shooting half court shots in the NBA, it's got to stop because it's really a low percentage shot. And yes, LeBron took a very bad shot and he took responsibility for it. That I'm going to give you that. But to continue on with my criticism of Russell Westbrook, when are you guys going to start realizing that Russell Westbrook IQ for basketball is not that high? All right. I'm not talking about his entire career. I'm talking about when basically you have to play strategical basketball. His IQ is so low because here's the thing. I watched the footage when it was about 27 seconds to go in the game, They had 18 seconds left on the shot clock, and they were holding a 1-point lead. And he pulls up, takes a 15-footer over Nurkic, and missed it completely. When you're playing for a 2-for-1 situation, you do it when you're down a point or more. That basically means that you're trying to get the quick bucket there, but in between the shot clock, all right, in between the shot clock and the game clock, you get the quick bucket, get the stop, and then you get the last possession. But when you're up by 1, all right, you don't take a quick shot when you have so much time left on the shot clock. They had 18 seconds left on the shot clock, and you're up a point. All you have to do is work the clock, make the defense commit to you, and make them force a turnover on you. And if you get a quality look, the best quality look, if you want to take the 2-for-1, you go drive to the basket and either get a layup or force the referee to call the foul. The only time you take a perimeter job shot is if you're absolutely wide open with no defense around you. And typically is where the corner 3 comes into play. But when you are playing basketball, you have to really think things through. You have to think time, score, and situation. And so many times I've seen Russell Westbrook, even the years when he was playing in OKC, when he was at his premium best, there are times where he takes ill-advised shots. He doesn't think things through, and literally, in a sense, the guy makes decisions that leaves you scratching your head. And I'm here to tell you right now, that's one of the major reasons why the Lakers have been struggling. It's not just because of perimeter shooting alone, because I've already established that. All right, go back to the video that I did the other day, the previous video. But what I'm trying to tell people is stop pointing the finger at the top stars of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. That's just an easy target. If you're trying to direct blame on that, you're going to lose a lot of arguments. All right, because LeBron James right now, yes, he's been shooting very terribly, but last time I checked, he's been the only guy, and someone with Anthony Davis have been pretty much the guys that have been keeping the Lakers in their first 3 ball games. So you can't sit there and try to pretend like, oh, LeBron James is pretty much stat padding, man. He's trying to stat his numbers. But what is he supposed to do? Not score? Like, you need to make up your minds. You guys don't make no sense. So back to what I'm saying here. When Darvin Ham was sitting in the press conference, when he talked about how he wished he would attack the rim directly, all right, that's pretty much telling you that he would have wished that Russell Westbrook would have basically, if he wanted to get a quick score, at least attack the rim and force the defense, to either try to contest the shot or put you to the free throw line. And this is what I've been talking about with Russell Westbrook in the first 3 games. The man is not playing smart basketball right now. And right now, he has been one of the biggest liabilities. Listen, when you go 0 for 13 against the Clippers and only score 2 points, I mean, come on. There's a big problem here, especially when big guys, opposing big men that are guarding Russell Westbrook are now just drifting away from him and pretty much daring him to shoot. That's a problem. And right now, the Lakers right now are just terrible when it comes to shooting. They're dead, like I said before, they're dead last in perimeter shooting to combine as a whole, from 2-point range, from 3-point range, from the free throw line. They're pretty much terrible right now. And at the end of the day, you people need to realize, you need to wake up and see what is reality. He is not the same player that was averaging triple doubles in basically 4 consecutive seasons. All right. So even let's look back to the MVP year when he was in OKC in 2017, when he was basically, won the MVP that year. Okay. He averaged 31.5 points per game. Cool. 10.4 assists per game. Cool. And also in terms of rebounding, 10.4. Okay, but let's look at the percentages here. He shot 84% for the free throw line. Cool. But here's where it breaks down here. 47% from the field, and from 3-point range, 34%. And which I can see clearly off the stats from Basketball Reference, that represents the highest total of his career by far. All right, the year when he won MVP. But then when you look at his stats afterwards, 25.4 points per game in 2018. All right, near the same numbers, 10.3 assists per game, 10 rebounds per game. And free throw percentage, okay, 73%. field goal percentage as a whole, 47%. And from three-point range, 29%. And gradually it starts declining and declining with each passing year. All right. Even though basically on the final year of OKC, when he was still averaging almost averaging a triple double. All right. You want to talk about a guy that is a slasher and a driver, and a guy that who's a pretty good playmaker. But when it comes down to key certain situations, there's a reason why Russell Westbrook has not advanced as far in his career in terms of getting it done when it matters most. All right. Even with all the star power that he's had throughout his career. All right. I don't need to name him. You can just research it for yourself. You know. But I'm here to tell you right now, Russell Westbrook is not the same player anymore. He is literally an offensive liability. When I'm facing against a guy like a Russell Westbrook that can't shoot, I'm daring him to shoot all day long. All right. And if he makes 1 or 2 threes, cool. I'm gonna make him shoot threes until he can prove to me he can shoot on a consistent basis. All right. That's what players will do in those situations. And from the first 3 games, that's what I've been seeing. And every time he's been breaking and he's been hitting nothing but air balls. And unfortunately, people are going to be mad at me, be like, oh, why you feeding into the stereotype of Russell Westbrook? You know, he's still the same guy. No, he's not. If you put him in any team right now, he'd be still the same players and you would have more headaches than basically relief. All right. He is just an offensive guy that is not the same player that he once was. And I think people just need to accept it and just realize that he's not that guy anymore. And that just is what it is. And I'm not disrespecting him at all. I'm just speaking facts. And so right now, if you're the Lakers right now, you should have pulled the trigger on the Buddy Hield trade to Indiana. Because right now, when Rob Pelinka pretty much, pulled the plug on that trade scenario, he pretty much signed his, death warrant with this roster. And now they're 0-3 right now. And the worst part is the schedule isn't going to get any easier right now. They got to go face against Denver on Wednesday night. And then they got to come to Minneapolis on Friday night to face against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So right now, the schedule at this point right now is not going to get any easier. Now, I think they will probably win against either the Nuggets or the Timberwolves. I think most likely with the Timberwolves. But if they go 0-5, I promise you, this is going to be real, real bad. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be some nights where Russell Westbrook is going to have flashes of his old self. But the guy that you guys want him to be from those triple-double years is not there anymore. And you're just going to have to wake up and realize that the entire blame should not just be on LeBron himself. That you got to put a lot of the blame on Russell Westbrook too. And it's in terms of his inability to shoot shots and his inability to basically understand the game. And he doesn't make smart decisions. That just is what it is. And so anytime that people try to put any blame on LeBron, you either haven't watched the game or you're just being a hater right now. And I don't even like LeBron. All right. I think he's a passive aggressive type of personality, but the man has been pretty much doing his part, even though he's had his, bad moments too. The man is pretty much the only guy that's kept the Lakers in games. And you're going to put more of the blame on him? You really got to check yourself. So that's just my 2 cents on the whole thing. I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to have different opinions about it, but I want to know what you guys think. Do you think Russell Westbrook is an offensive liability? Do you think he deserves the majority of the blame? Or do you guys think that LeBron deserves the blame, Darvin Ham, or Rob Pelinka, who assembled this roster? But let me know what you think in the comment section below. And with that, I'm out. Peace.